Good morning, students. Welcome to your social science class. Students, in our last class, we are seeing the political condition of Vedic period. So what we had seen, I told you that during Vedic period, the position of king was not hereditary, but later on in Vedic period, the position of king also becomes hereditary. So let's continue the same topic with a new page number 96, students. King of a small kingdom was called a Raja. Means a king of a small kingdom known as Raja. A Samrat or Maharaja controlled a large kingdom known as Rashtra. So Samrat or Maharaja generally they controlled a large kingdom, whereas a king of small kingdom known as Raja, and that large kingdom was known as Rashtra. The king was assisted means help, by Purohit, priest, Mantri means minister, Senani, commander of army, you can say commander of the forces, and Gramini, headman of the village, the chief person of the village. So students, these persons, Purohit, Mantri, Senani, Gramini, they used to help the king in doing the kingdom work, in doing the work properly. The king consulted means discussed, the Sabha and the Samiti on all important matters. Students, Sabha and Samiti were group of pupils, and the king used to discuss every important matters in these groups, Sabha and Samiti. The Sabha was a small body. Sabha was a group of small people of selected village elders. So the village elders will become the member of Sabha. And the Samiti was a large assembly, means a group of large people that was responsible for policy making. Means the main work of Samiti is to plan, is to make policies for the development of the kingdom. Let's continue, students. The power of the kings increased in the later Vedic period. So as the power of the king increases in the later Vedic period, they performed Rajsui and Ashwamedh Yagya. Ashwamedh means horse sacrifice Yagya. The Rajsui sacrifice was performed by the king to gain supreme power. So why the king performed Rajsui Yagya? To attain, to achieve. Supreme means most, to become most powerful person. And the Ashwamedh was for declaring his power over a vast territory. And Ashwamedh Yagya was performed to declare that he is more powerful in the entire area. Territory means area. The increase in the power of the kings resulted in decrease in the power of Sabha and Samiti. So students, as the power of king increases, ultimately it leads to decrease in the power of Sabha and Samiti. Means the power of local people decreases as the power of king increases. Students, let's see the social condition of Vedic period. The basic unit of the society was the family. So in Vedic period, which was the basic unit of the society? Family. The eldest male member was the head of the joint family. Today also, you all can see, if you are living in a joint family, the eldest male member, maybe your grandfather, still become the head of the joint family. He was known as Grahpati. So that eldest male member known as Grahpati means head of that particular family. Women were held in great respect. So during Vedic period, women were also getting great respect from the males. They were educated. Women like Apala and Ghosha even composed hymns. So these are the examples of two intellectual women, Apala and Ghosha. They are highly literate women and they even write hymns. The participation of wife was essential in all the religious ceremonies. So in all the festivals, all the religious festivals, the participation of wife was essential, was necessary. It means along with husband, wife is also going to participate in various religious functions. The social evils like Sati Pratha, and the evils means students burai. So Sati Pratha and child marriage were unknown in early Vedic period. So during early Vedic period means the time when Rig Veda was prevailing. During the early Vedic period, students, the Sati Pratha and child marriage, these are social evils. They were not prevailing in early Vedic period, but they gained importance in later Vedic period as the status of women declined. As I have told you, students, that Vedic period is divided into two parts. Yesterday I have discussed early Vedic period and later Vedic period. So students, the position of women is very good. They got respect in early Vedic period. And in later Vedic period, the position, the status of women decreases. So in early Vedic period, students, some social evils, samajik buraiyan like Sati Pratha, child marriage were not prevailed. But as the status of women decreases in later Vedic period, so these social evils like Sati Pratha and child marriages were started in later Vedic period. Students, please, all of you, try to read this. Do you know? It's an interesting fact. Try to read it. Let's continue. The society was divided into 4 varnas. Varna means caste, namely Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. So during Vedic period, the whole society was divided into 4. Varna means groups. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. Brahmins looked after the religious matter. So what was the work of Brahmins? They are going to look over the religious work. And Kshatriyas protected the people from internal and external harm. Means the work of Kshatriyas was to protect the kingdom, to protect the people. The Vaishyas were the cultivators and craftsmen. Generally you can see the Vaishyas were busy in doing business. They were cultivators, the farmers. The Shudras were the laborers who served the above 3 classes. So the Shudras became the laborers and they used to give their services to Brahmins, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas. So let's continue. The people of different varnas had the freedom to intermingle. It means during the early Vedic period, the people of different varnas have the freedom that they can marry with some another one. Like the Brahmins can get married in Kshatriyas and Kshatriyas can get married in Brahmins. Marry or change their occupations. Even they have freedom. They had freedom that they can change their occupations. But in the later Vedic period, students, the Varna system become hereditary. Hereditary means on the basis of their genetic. If the son of the Brahman becomes automatically Brahmins. So in later Vedic period, the Varna system converted into hereditary and it become very rigid. Now the Brahmins can't change their occupations. They have to do religious matter. Kshatriyas, they have to protect the kingdoms. The Vaishyas, they have to do cultivating work. And the Shudras have to serve the classes. So the work and their positions become hereditary in later Vedic period. No one could change the occupation or the varna. So in later Vedic period, students, no one is permitted to change their occupation, to change their work. But there were many areas like Northeast where social and economic differences were not very sharp. Even the influence of the priests was limited. But still, during later Vedic period, students, Northeast India, in that area, the northeastern states, the influence of the priest was not so high. So that's why the social and economic differences between different varnas in northeast area was not so high. Students, today, that's all for today class. We will continue the same topic in our next class. Thank you, students. Take care.